Hello and welcome to the Chasten Centre, another live edition where today, being Thursday, 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time, we're going to be deep diving into building your team dynamic workplace. And we love to assist people to make sure that their company is thriving through their people thriving. And it really is that simple. When you actually take the time to invest in your people, to ensure that they are in tip-top condition and working in all areas of their life, you will be able to not only have them more productive, but your people, profits, and purpose will all be thriving. So let's deep dive into it today, because today, let me bring up my trusty little screen. Today, we will be looking at how you can thrive in all areas of your life. And this isn't just about you, it's about the whole team. Because when the whole team is thriving in all areas of their life, guess what? Everything just falls into place. People know who they are. They know where they're going. They know exactly what they're going to be doing today and tomorrow and the next day, because they are so on purpose. So let's get into this, because we're not going to be here for very long now, are we? So what is the most important thing about, and why do we want to create a team dynamic workplace where people are thriving in all of their areas of their life? So are you aware? Let me get my slides working. Right. Are you aware that Gallup every single year takes statistics on people engaged in the workplace? And what they have found year on year on year on, that they have found that with nearly 8 billion people in the world, about 60% are working in the workplace, whether it's in their own business or working for someone else. So that means of the 8 billion, 60% working, that's about 5 million. But over the last few years, and not just during the pandemic, probably for the last decade, to be quite honest, there has only been around 15% of the population, of the employees of the company, that are actually fully engaged. And the other 85% is a mixture of disengaged employees and actively disengaged employees. So with that figure, it means 4 billion people worldwide are disengaged in the workplace, which is costing us all a lot of money. But more importantly, why are the people disengaged? What is it? Is it just your workplace, or would they be just as disengaged in somewhere else? And that's the question that really does require answering, because at the moment, the great resignation is this happening all over the world? But if we can understand why people are leaving and why they're disengaged, we can certainly make a huge difference to actually retain our employees, which means we're not only going to retain them physically doing their jobs, we are also going to retain their IP around our company, ensuring that we are always getting the best possible return for the company. But more importantly, we are ensuring that we're making the best possible product. The people in our company are offering the best possible service, which will all lead to ensuring that we have a team dynamic workplace, which is giving the best possible returns to all of the stakeholders. So one of the things that I love to talk about is my People and Profits Connection program. And it really has come out of the fact of me working as a CFO in a publicly listed company and being a senior manager for more than 25 years. So I understand how hard it is to motivate employees. But the funny thing is, I had to leave that corporate environment and become a life coach who specializes in loss in order for me to create these People and Profits Connection programs, where I totally understand not only the profits of the business, but the people in it, and how important it is to get them thriving in all areas of their life. So that's what we're going to look at today. We're going to look at the you factor, which is the most important factor in your life. And if it's not, it needs to be, because when you know who you are, you know where you're going, it just brings this amazing essence into everything that you do. You have purpose. You have the desire to ensure that everything you touch turns into the most amazing thing. But remember, I'm not talking about just you personally. I'm talking about every single person in your organization. When they have their own you factor, that makes what the difference. They will rock up each and every day. They have a purpose. They will be driven to achieve what they had set out to achieve today. And then they know that they can go home and spend time in all the other areas of their life, which will re-energize them. And it's a most amazing thing for us all to get to that place. So let's have a look. So in the Chasten Center Wellness Wheel, we have 9 areas of life. And as you can see, they are mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, family, socially, environmentally, professionally, and financially. Now, that's a lot to remember. And I totally understand that it's a lot to remember. And that's why, before I move on to why I've broken it down into 4 pillars, I want to explain why I purposely wanted 9 areas of life in the Chasten Center Wellness Wheel. And what it is 9 is an amazing number. You can tell I'm an accountant, can't you? I just got to bring numbers into the presentation somewhere along the line. But seriously, what it is more about is the fact that 9 is the energy of an ending. It's about a finalization. It takes 9 months to have a baby, to grow a baby. And I've had the privilege of growing 4 babies inside my tummy. So it really is amazing. But apart from that, it's what it is it's about you taking the time to understand that it takes a while for you to grow into the person who you want to become. So often we want it just instantaneously, but it's in that growing that we actually get to deep dive into it, and we get to understand where we have been and where we are going, the things we want to bring with us, the things we want to start doing, the things we want to stop doing, and the things we want to continue doing. So it's really important that we understand that when we do start to deep dive into who we are, to find our true essence, it really does take a little bit of time. It's not going to happen overnight, but that's okay. As long as you have a focus on one area of life and ensuring that that focus is not detracting from any of the other areas of your life, you will be creating balance and harmony and love into your life very, very easily and quickly. And I'm pretty sure that all makes sense. Okay, so the 4 pillars that I talked about, the first one is all about you. And it's really important that we understand that we are the most important person in our life. We're the only person we're going to spend 24/7 with every week of our lives, every single week of our lives. Really important that you hear that, because when you think back there's no one else who you are with 24/7. So how are you talking to yourself? And do you like hanging out with yourself? And are you looking after yourself mentally? And I'll go into all of them: mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. And then, of course, there is all about your relationships, because we are social beings. We love to be together. We love to have relationships. And it's important that we understand that our relationships are really important in our life. We didn't come here to isolate and to be by ourselves. Then, of course, it's all about your expertise, and then all about your wealth creation. Now, I purposely said them in that order because it's important that we know who we are. We understand all the relationships in our life, where they're at, and how we can enhance them all. We understand the expertise, the way that we bring the income so that we can support ourselves and our loved ones and live in the lifestyle that we want to live in. And it doesn't matter if it's not as lavish as someone else, as long as it's what brings us joy and makes us happy and makes us comfortable with the way that we earn our money. And then we build on that. We build on that through our wealth creation. Now, as I said, I purposely said them in that order because unfortunately, a lot of people are living the other way around. They look at the wealth that they want to accumulate, they then figure out what expertise they need to do in order to bring that in. They then gather a few relationships along the way, and then they worry about themselves last. And a lot of people get into that sort of cycle of this is how you do success. And they never actually deep dive into themselves and say, is this the best way for me to do success? Because it's really taking a toll on me. And I feel like I don't even know who I am. And, it comes to the stage that you feel there is something missing in your life, not realizing that maybe that something is you. And what's the point of living your life if you're missing from it? Really important for us to understand that. So let's deep dive into how I have allocated or dissected the areas of 9 areas of life under these 4 pillars. So the all about you is mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually. So do you actually enhance your mental capabilities? What are the things that you're watching and reading and bringing into your environment? And how are they affecting you on a mental level? Also, how do you speak to yourself? Have you actually stopped and listened to the words? Are you using a necessity language or a possibility language? And are you treating yourself like your own best friend? Because let's face it, sometimes the way we speak to ourselves, if we spoke to our best friend that way, they wouldn't be around for very long. So it's important for us to understand the way that we speak to ourselves probably needs to be, definitely needs to be, if not equal to or even better than the way that you treat your best friend emotionally. Do you deep dive into your emotions? Do you understand what triggers you? Do you understand? Have you ever got to the core of what this emotion is about and deep dived into it and then healed it? It's really important for us to understand that our lack of loss intelligence throughout the whole world isn't ideal for us. We shove our emotions down from a very young age. We've been told not to act like that, not to feel that way, not to be that way, and to hide our emotions. And it's not healthy for us on a physical level or on a mental level or on a spiritual level, because our emotions are energy in motions, emotions, and they're there to guide us, to assist us in the best possible way of living our lives. So deep diving into us, who we are emotionally, is the most valuable experience you can do, because you will find it will enhance you in so many ways. Not only that, you'll feel so much lighter, because you will heal the emotion, and you will come to a place where you may even apologize, forgive, or acknowledge. And that's the most amazing place for you to come to. Then physically, are you looking after your physical body? Are you, really knowing that your body will be able to run the endurance of your life? It will take you to the end where you will still be physically able to do the things that you love to do now. And of course, spiritually, we are all spiritual beings having a human experience. And so often we forget this. We're all here to learn spirit and enhance ourselves on a soul spiritual level. And sometimes it gets really, really tough, and you think, oh my God, why the hell did we choose this life? And when we start to do all of these 4 little things in us, it's amazing how much they enhance, because we can then move on to our relationships where we can emotionally understand every person that we interact with. Do you do that? Have you ever taken the time to figure out why they may trigger you but what's going on in them emotionally that may be causing the behavior that you do not feel is ideal. I've read this amazing book recently by Oprah Winfrey and Dr. Brian Perry. It's called What Happened to You? And it's about us starting to ask questions of other people. What happened to you? Instead of saying, what's wrong with you? Because every single thing that has happened in our life has created the person that we are here today. Who we are today, we are a sum of all of our past experiences. And it's important for us to try, no, don't try, just do, to understand our relationships emotionally. Of course, being connected to our family, but not just the family in whole, every single person in that family, developing your own unique relationship with them. We're social beings. The last couple of years has really taken a toll on us all socially because we love to hang out with each other. We love to spend time with each other, to laugh, to have fun and to have joys and to create magical, meaningful, memorable occasions together. And environmentally, what is your relationship with the environment? I'm talking about the physical environment as well as your own environment, your office space, your where you spend a lot of your time. Is it actually enhancing you? Is it bringing you up or is it bringing you down? Really important for us to understand all of these things. Maybe now you can understand why a lot of your people, and you included, are rocking up to work exhausted because maybe you're not living in the right environment. Maybe your relationships are not that great. Maybe your relationship with yourself is what's bringing you down. You're staying up way too long. You're not having enough sleep. You're not having these beautiful relationships where you know that you are loved and they are loved. And you're joyous to go home. There's nothing worse than being in an environment that is totally taxing on you and bringing you down all the time. Then we move on to the expertise. We are emotionally attached. You've probably noticed emotionally has been in all of them. And that's right. They emotionally understanding how you're emotionally attached to what you do, to your expertise is so important. That's what gets you out of bed. When you are excited about what the day is going to bring to you, where you're excited about what you're about to do today, you're emotionally so attached to it that you can get there really, really easily. And of course, if you're disconnected to it emotionally, you are dragging yourself out of bed, you're not excited about what's going to happen, which of course flows through into your work and also into the relationships that you have at work. And this is why people are disengaged and actively disengaged in the workplace, because they're not emotionally attached to what they're doing. And they don't probably have career goals. They're not professionally enhancing who they are. They're not mentoring other people. They just don't see the long term. They just see it as a paycheck. They don't see it as this is what lights me up. And I have goals and I can see where I'm going and I'm excited about where I'm going. So it's really important for you to understand that if you are not emotionally attached to your workplace, today's the day that you put a date in a calendar, the line in the sand to say, this is when I leave this job. It doesn't matter if it's a month, a year, 5 years, 10 years, whatever it is, you put that date in your calendar right now. And then what you do is you see where you are now and who you have to become in order to be able to leave this job and get the job that is going to light you up emotionally. And then that's when you create that plan and close that gap and close that gap and close that gap so that you can leave where you are from this disconnected profession. And that's why I love working in businesses. And that's why I love to say, give me your worst employee and I will make them one of your best, or I will get them to leave, which is a win-win for all, because it's so important that everyone in this workplace, in this team dynamic workplace, are there knowing how important their role is in the cog for the whole workplace, knowing that they can't serve customers without what your contribution is to the company. And then, of course, your wealth creation. So often, many of us are not connected emotionally to work, to our wealth. We think, oh no, that's going to make us this person. It's going to make us whoever if we accumulate too much wealth. And that's not the case. It's beliefs that may have been, not even yours. Your parents may have had them, or your grandparents may have had them. Emotional work, like connecting emotionally to your wealth creation, is so important to realize that it's just a form of exchange. That's all it is. And in order to live the life that you want to live, and live in a beautiful home and be able to do whatever you want to do, we require wealth. It's that simple. And we don't have to accumulate billions and trillions of dollars in order to live in that lifestyle that we really are in an amazing place. So it's important to be emotionally attached to it, and then to financially figure out how you can create as much passive income as you can, because that's how wealth is created. Not through you doing one-to-one work. It's not enough hours in the day or the week in order for you to accumulate where you want to be financially insecure, in a secure place. Not insecure financially. We don't want that at all. Anyway, so that's it. So as you can see, how attached are you? So if you looked at your wellness wheel, and I've got them all connected here with the amazing, beautiful pillars all around it. And if you were to put, where you are and this color in the lines, where are you? Are you a 1 where you're, not so that great in it? Or are you actually, from an emotional relationships perspective, I understand all of my relations. I'm a 5, and you could see. And if you colored in each of those lines, and then you would be able to then see how balanced your wellness wheel really is. And unfortunately, I didn't add mine today. I normally add it, so I apologize for that. But what is really important is you get to see that when you are rolling along nicely, you are spending time in every single area of your life, which expands from the 9 to the 12 when we add emotionally into each pillar. But what it is we then seem to understand that on a physical time level, we will spend probably more time in our expertise and in our family sort of relationships. But it doesn't mean that the others don't get time, one-on-one time. Creating your me time is what I call it, on a daily basis, is all about you, so that you can spend some time enhancing your mental acuity. You can spend some time on you emotionally, deep diving into physical exercise and also spiritual exercise. And spiritual exercise is not religion. It's about you connecting and knowing that you are part of the creator, you are part of the universe, and the universe is inside you and it is guiding you. And the more you deep dive into and understand that you are a spiritual being who has come into this life to enhance yourself, and on a soul level, not just you, who you are, the physical person who you are in this lifetime. And you will go on and you will go back to home, to your loved ones, your past loved ones, and you will be able to do so much. But the more that we deep dive into who we are, the more that we can understand that we can create balance in our lives. So you think about this, right? If you did this exercise and all of your employees understood who they were and understood that they have all these areas of life that require some attention on a weekly basis, because then that's how they become whole. And more than likely, that's how they remove this hole, H-O-L-E, that's inside them. Because no matter how successful you seem to be, there comes a time where you start to have this unfulfillment, this little nagging feeling inside of you that, for me, it was like a drum beating going, When are you going to start living and loving your life? When are you going to start living and loving your life? When are you going to start being you? When are you going to stop being so busy? When are you going to start to enhance your relationships? When are you going to start to really love what you're doing, not just going through the motions? When are you going to start to create and retain your financial income, your financial wealth? When are you going to start to really love who you are and speak to yourself the way you want to be? When are you going to start to deep dive into those emotions that you have buried through your not so ideal avoidance tactics, your bad habits, eating too much, drinking too much, working too much, being, being angry all the time? When are you going to start to remove all this? So that's the sort of things that we love to do in the workplace. We love to help people to realize that they are the most important person in their life, and they are very important in the role that they're in on a professional basis. Then being part of the team is the way that they can ensure that they are enhancing the workplace. They are building the best possible product. They are providing the most amazing, best possible customer service, which in turn, they're creating this most amazing team dynamic workplace that ensures that the best possible returns are returned to all of the stakeholders. So, how balanced is your wellness wheel? Take some time to actually take a photo of this and actually do that exercise of being honest with yourself. It doesn't matter what the answer is today. What matters is it's a line in the sand. It's a starting point for you to go, okay, how do I improve this part of me? Because every single part of that is part of you. Whether you want to believe it or not, it really is part of you. So together we can create your team dynamic workplace, but it really does start with you. And it's not just you, whether you're the boss or whether you're the janitor or you're whoever you are in the workplace. It all starts with you. And as I love to say, give us your worst employee. We guarantee they'll become one of your best, or they'll resign, which is a win-win for all, no matter how you look at it. So, as always, this is the Chaston Centre signing off. Look at that, right on time as always. I love to do these in under 30 minutes. On Mondays, we create your better everyday life after any kind of loss. And on Thursday, we create your team dynamic workplace. All of them at 10 a.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. I look forward to you joining me on the platform that you are seeing me on now, either 10 a.m. on Monday or 10 a.m. on Thursday. And believe me, you may think that, helping people to move beyond loss and building a team dynamic are completely different things. But believe me, I wish I had this understanding when I was in my C.F.O roles and all of my roles for, over 25 years and being in a senior manager. I can tell you right now, not only would I have been different, every single member in my team and in the workplace would have been different. And also we would have enhanced the returns to every single stakeholder. We would have provided better products. We would have provided better customer service, and we would have provided enhanced team developments. So that's it. I look forward to seeing you next week, either Monday or Thursday or both. Take some time to have a look at your work, at how you have actually created your wellness wheel, and then take some time to look at how you can enhance it and making sure that you come up with that balanced wellness wheel. And you know where to find me. PM me anytime. Bye for now.